Two teachers going for promotion to senior leadership.
Previous interviews, I had to demonstrate leadership qualities, but going for an assistant headship is a whole new level.
Something about interviews where I get very flustered, I get very nervous and panic, really.
We put them through a mock interview.
So what would be the difference between achievement and attainment?
Give them expert coaching.
I've got drive and passion as well.
Superb, fantastic. Take another step up.
And interview them again to see if they can improve their performance. To help conquer the perils of the job interview, two teachers will face an interview panel for a senior leadership post.
Unas botas.
First up is language teacher Mike Lambert.
Un vestido. Una camisa. Unos pantalones.
Currently a teaching and learning leader, he's looking for an assistant headship.
When you're a head of department, you get past a lot of decisions that have been made above you onto your department. But I really want to be in a position where I can take an idea and run with it and make it happen, make a difference for the kids. Is that all right? Yes. Excellent. Brilliant, guys. I do actually quite enjoy interviews. I quite enjoy meeting people. However, this next job I'm going to be going for, that's a pretty important job for me, so I want to make sure that I'm as good as I can be for that.
The second candidate is Rebecca Clark.
Year 7, can I have your attention, please?
After 3 years as an assistant head, she's determined to become a deputy head, but lacks confidence.
Obviously, having been at the same school for 11 years, I've only had internal interviews, and at my last one, which was for the assistant head position, I was actually sick on the day. A number of you may have reported back. It's just something about interviews where I get very flustered and I get very nervous and panic, really. I feel I'm at the right stage in my career now to make that move. The only thing that's holding me back would be the interview process at the moment.
Today, the posts are fictitious, but the panel is formidable. Between them, they've interviewed over 500 candidates. Leadership expert and parent governor, Sarah Milne-Rowe.
I would advise anyone to think of an interview as a performance in the same way as a sportsman or woman would think of an event as something they build up for, and an actor would think about the rehearsal process that's integral to the success of the show.
Primary Head Teacher of the Year 2007, Kevin Harcombe.
The first few seconds of the interview are absolutely vital, and that starts from when you walk into the room. I remember when I was interviewing for deputy heads, the panel saying later, that person, when she walked into the room, looked like a leader.
And Anita Johnson, head teacher of an outstanding London secondary school.
One of the key things is to show your personality. And if you show that personality and show somebody who's enthusiastic and passionate about what they're doing, then most of the panel would enjoy actually talking to you.
The interviews will be observed by education coach Simon Cooper-Hind.
As a profession, we always underestimate our own abilities. And in an interview, it's got to be the other way around. You've got to really shine and show how good you are in order that actually you secure that job for yourself.
First to face the interrogators is Mike.
In 25 words, describe your vision of a school. Quite a tough question, but...
A school should be a place where pupils can develop, where they can grow, where they can succeed, and where they can feel safe. Have I got any more words?
No, that's about it, actually. Well done. How would you evolve a monitoring system using data to improve student attainment?
OK, well, it's key to check how staff are using data at present. So you need to have an audit of what was going on at present to find out where you can move to. OK,
taking that a bit further, what other data would you use?
We have our ALPS data.
OK.
And we have...
That's an A-level data, so at GCSE?
At GCSE, I think that's the data we currently use for TD. I'm not aware of other ones.
OK, so you're not currently using any Key Stage 2 data?
Oh, sorry, apologies, yes. Yeah, we do use Key Stage 2 to Key Stage 4 data now.
So what would be the difference between achievement and attainment?
Achievement and attainment? I'm sorry, I don't know. I've always used the two interchangeably, I have to say.
In terms of your core beliefs, your core values in education,
which one would you actually lie down in the road for and say, no, this is staying?
I think in terms of teaching in the classroom, I think variety. I'd like kids to be engaged, and I think when we move to a system where kids would recognise what is going to happen in every class, then they are going to be disengaged and they're going to turn off. So I think a variety on a variety of levels there, if you like.
Safeguarding is high on Ofsted agenda at the moment. What does this mean to you?
Are we talking about safeguarding of children?
Safeguarding generally in terms of the Ofsted criteria of safeguarding, what does that mean to you?
I'll go along the route of, I'm talking about safeguarding of children. It's everybody's business in the school to make sure that children are safe and looked after. The Every Child Matters agenda would ensure that. And so everybody's responsibility, senior management involved, and senior management to ensure that everybody's informed of what they should be looking at to ensure that children are safe.
Thanks, Mike, very much.
Thanks very much.
So, what does the panel think?
From my point of view, I think he's a very personable young man, but he lacks knowledge and basic foundations of which, at this level, he should have better knowledge of.
I agree with that, but it doesn't concern me too much because they're the things that you can teach quite quickly. All right, he may not have had that experience thus far, but in this new setting he could do. And as you say, the interpersonal skills are good.
I felt he was somebody who was passionate about teaching. He came alive in certain questions for me, and then there were other questions like I felt safeguarding was a really big weak answer. I thought there's so much attention going on to safeguarding at the moment that in terms of his preparation for an interview like this, I would expect him to really get that.
Simon, just have a look at the question about the core values. His answer was variety. That is not a core value.
That was weak. When he expanded on it, he got down more to what he meant. I think variety was the word that rose to the top of his mind.
Do you feel that once he was under pressure, he then started to waffle?
Yes.
And lose his way?
Yeah. Yes. And I think the question that put him out of kilter was the data question. When I came back, what was the difference between achievement and attainment? And at that point, he lost his confidence. So he needs to be able to regroup, forget that question and move on. But I did like his honesty.
I think build on the honesty and say, well, I don't know now, but I can find out very quickly, or I know the right person to ask.
I'm Sarah, the parent governor.
Now it's Rebecca's turn. Will nerves get the better of her?
This is going to be a bit of a toughie, but in 25 words, describe your vision of a school.
I would want a school to be somewhere where it's a community, it's a place where children can achieve, that is supportive, inclusive, safe. It's about not even just the students achieving, staff achieving, fulfilling their potential as well. How am I doing with words?
You're doing really well.
Just trying to keep a count of those.
OK. How would you evolve a monitoring system using data to improve student attainment?
What I think is really important, and something I've been involved in this year quite a lot, is with our Year 11 students, and starting to actually develop that now for our Year 10s, would be where we've met with all the heads of department based on their mock. We've looked at where key stage 2 lies. We've then got 2 other groups, which are our target raisers and our achievement groups, and we've split it so it's boys and girls as well. So we're looking at things like gender. So it's a number of different things we're actually doing as well. Are they on target for achieving that with English and maths? Are they not going to achieve it with English and maths?
OK, Rebecca, I'm going to cut the question. You answered that really well.
Okay.
Well done.
I presume in your teaching career you've helped improve colleagues' performance one way or another. Can you talk me through what sort of things you've done? Well,
this year and last year I've been line managing the head of citizenship at my school. And one of the things I've tried to support her really was her management of that department. Citizenship. So what we did, we met and we set some targets for what we predicted, what we wanted the department to achieve. The support that I gave her, then I asked her to give me things, okay, give me for this term, when are you going to meet with that as a team? When are you going to then meet with that person? So it was those kind of things as well. It wasn't me stepping in and doing it. It was about asking her to do those things. And then we put a revision package together for the students that she delivered.
That's fine, you've answered that really fully, thank you.
If you were to describe your leadership style as an animal, what type of animal would you be and why?
Maybe a bit like a cat. Okay, I know that, you know, you've got cats that can be quite calm and restful, but at the same time, if something upsets it, it will get up and it will react to it and do something about it. I want to move things forward. I'm quite ambitious in that way. So, you know, if you see a cat and there's like a little mouse or something, and it will go after that and try and catch it. So in that way, I suppose.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what do they think of Rebecca?
Her foundations are good. I think she's an excellent candidate. She has got a good knowledge base. I think there were some excellent answers there.
I think it was quite clear from all her answers that she's tremendously hard-working and has thought about career prospects and has made sure she knows and gets involved in certain things, and the passion was there for the children.
Actually, Simon, I think that she needs to manage her nerves, because I think we've got a candidate here who has a real passion for teaching and learning, and she had so many specific examples for her questions. She needs to breathe, she needs to stop, and she needs to really give herself... I felt she was just one stage ahead of her sentences, so they came out too quickly.
Okay, I think Rebecca really does need to think about how she comes into the room and how she sits down. Her body language is quite slumped. She needs to sit back a little bit. She needs to believe in who she is, and she needs to think about the colour of her dress. It's all very black. It's one colour, so she's setting about one dimension. Whereas if she used just a few accessories, I sound like Gok Wan.
You are Gok Wan.
If she used a few accessories and changed the colour slightly, then she would be coming forward and feel more confident in herself.
She needs someone to tell her how good she actually is.
She does.
No one else is going to blow her trumpet for us. And she's got to come in and tell us how good she is.
Now, Simon has just 1 hour with each candidate to transform them into serious contenders for senior leadership. The first issue for Mike, weak answers.
So what would be the difference between achievement and attainment?
Achievement and attainment. I think it identified some gaps in my knowledge, which I'd need to sort out before having another interview.
What could you do about those gaps in your knowledge?
I think that's a question of going back and speaking to people who are specialists in those areas, perhaps within my own school, reading the appropriate reports and just making sure that I'm aware of the terminology that's currently in use.
They also felt his responses needed more focus.
What one thing would you lie down in the road for in education?
I think variety.
How do you feel you answer that question?
Well, as I was leaving the room, I was immediately aware that this wasn't the top quality answer. It's not as good an answer as saying the students first off. I agree. But
I haven't said that.
No, oh, sorry, no. I agree with your facial expressions.
For further interview tips from the panel, see the web clips on the programme page at www.teachers.tv.